Hello and welcome to the white box testing presentation. I am Erica Orton and will be presenting first. Kate Carter will follow me and Vlad will follow her. To start off, we must ask, what is white box testing? White box testing is a statically based type of testing that focuses on the internal structure, design, and implementation. With this method, one is able to test programming instructions, APIs, code coverage, mutation, pointers, arithmetic, and logical operations, memory leaks, and arrays. Due to the extent of testing, every single instruction is tested, thus making bugs identifiable and very thorough. There is more than one way to do white box testing. However, for learning purposes, the steps given will be generalized. To start, using white box testing, the tester will be given the source code to look over. While looking over the code, the tester will be focusing on the proper flow and structure. Tests are then developed to test the source code. Methods for doing this could be manual testing, exploratory testing, or test automation. Finally, a report is given for all feedback found throughout the process. In comparing white box testing, there is only one counterpart: black box testing. As discussed, white box testing is static, tests internally very thoroughly, and the code is given. In black box testing, it's dynamic. When testing, it is set up in such a way that only the user perspective is used. Since only the user perspective is used, manipulation is limited, and with such, no code is seen. Testing in this fashion is also faster, but not as thorough. To put it another way, in Tron, the MCP, or Master Control Program, was trying to take over from the inside of a computer, and Tron was trying to give that to the users. In this scenario, the NCP would be the white box testing, and Tron would be the black box.
Okay, so the method we're talking about today obviously is white box testing, and I am talking about the upsides and the downsides. The white box method optimizes the code by revealing hidden errors, and it promotes transparency of the internal coding structure, which is helpful in deriving the type of input needed to test an application effectively. White box covers all the paths of code, every line. Thereby, it empowers a software engineering team to conduct thorough application testing. It also enables the programmer to describe new implementation line by line. Tests can be easily automated due to the fact that you go line by line and think about all the possible data that could hit this line of code for those test cases. It gives engineering-based rules to stop testing an application. So once you've tested every line and all the inputs that you were able to come up with, the test is done. But there are also downsides. The downsides of white box testing is it's complex and expensive approach, and it requires the skill of a seasoned professional with the expertise of the programming language used for that project, as well as understanding the code structure. And the code structure can be different for every company, and you may not want one of your seasoned or best programmers to be testing the product and when they could be doing other tasks that maybe someone else is unable to do. It also requires you to create new scripts for every test when code is changed, and larger projects make testing difficult and more time consuming. Due to all the different test cases possible, some conditions may go untested. These tests need an extensive amount of input to test each path and condition, and that makes the white box testing method time consuming. Another downside. Defects in the code may not be found based on the line by line principle with white box testing, because singular lines by themselves may not cause issues, but things interacting or working together may cause an issue. So going line by line may not find those issues the way that testing each line together may not. And that is the downsides and upsides of white box testing.
My name is Vlad Kazanji and I will talk about recommendations. So through the white box technique, we can evaluate the internal structure of a program, design and code. Three main white box testing techniques include statement coverage. This technique requires every possible statement in the code to be executed at least once. Branch coverage, also called decision coverage. In this technique, we validate whether each branch is executed at least once. And path coverage, which tests all logical paths of the program. We have the following recommendations for applying the white box testing technique. First, it's extra testing. With the exception of unit tests, white box testing is almost always used as an addition to black box and exploratory testing approaches, never instead of other testing approaches. Black and white box testing used together is frequently referred to as gray box testing and may help. Code coverage is a measurement of how many lines, blocks, or arcs of your code are executed while the automated tests are running. If the team has a specific goal or needs to improve the code coverage metric, the most efficient way to improve the metric is white box testing can sometimes be used to design additional tests to provide greater confidence in a specific area of the code, or provide additional critical perspective. Some studies suggest that white box testing is the most effective approach to identify security flaws in software. This does not imply that additional security testing measures are not required. Like for any other testing, we recommend to involve testers in white box testing because it can provide the most unbiased opinion about the code. We recommend not applying white box testing in these cases. First, main testing. Again, with the exception of unit testing, white box testing is not a starting point. It's used in addition to other testing. Second, when internals are not known. It's impossible to use white box testing when the source code is not available or white box testing has drawbacks such as additional cost, more time, and for some types of software, for example games, it may be completely unnecessary. Fourth, for large system, testing every path of the loops is impossible. In this case, white box testing has limitations, and testers can select important logical paths and data structures for testing. Thank you for watching our presentation.